Now, we've got power shards. It is time to get back to overhauling the entire factory. So in case you missed it, last time on Indigestion Plays Satisfactory, our whole factory is fine. It makes every item, but it makes them wildly out of ratio or like not up to par. We need to be making like 100 of this item per second or whatever. And we're just not doing that. Partially because like this, for example, heavy modular frames, this is a bad example. Maybe those get plugged into adaptive control units, but we're not making enough of these to make this machine run. This machine gets plugged into this machine. We're not making enough of either this floor or this floor to make this floor run well. We're overhauling the entire factory to try to make the upper term products, like the upper limit products, run more often and faster. To do that, we basically have to discover all of the weaknesses in our game, in our factory. So that's kind of what we were at last time. I'm going to go back to where we were. People's reactions have been interesting. People drink breast milk every day, and they fucking pasteurized it. It's amazing. Anyways, we're talking about the Game Changer episode. We will stop in just about 2 seconds, but... Did we do... I guess the short answer, let's find the middle ground here on this conversation. Chat, we've talked about it before. Would you drink breast milk, yes or no? There have been a couple changes in the conversation since the last time we had it. Would you drink breast milk, yes or no? My answer some months ago was no. My answer still is no. I think a lot of people's answer is probably somewhere in the like depends, whose is it, etc. Like, why am I drinking it? Am I drinking it to avoid dying? Am I drinking it, etc., etc., etc.? No, I don't even like cow's milk. Whose is it is funny. I'm not crazy for that, right? I feel like whose is it probably is on the like if you're on the fence, I feel like whose is it is part of why you're on the fence, right? I would try it, but it wouldn't be a recurring thing. I guess it's a whole other conversation if you're like, yes, and I want it to be a recurring thing. All right, we're looking at, I need copper to CB. What was CB again? CB is circuit boards. So we were working on circuit boards, and I think we were adding... more copper to CB right here. They got the copper that they need, hopefully. Not only will I drink it, but I'll drink it every day. This all has the copper that it needs. Great. Now over here, we were making automated wiring. We did not power it all up, which is interesting. Did I messed that up? I did. Great. Was this stators? No, this was cable. Oh boy. What kind of combo did I just walk into? What if it's made into ice cream? This kind of combo doesn't even faze me anymore. Basically, here's how I feel. I don't know why I don't have any interest in even trying it. But I have no interest in even trying it. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure I do know why. What was the name of that character in... I don't even know if they had it. I mean, I'm sure they had a name, but I don't think it's a particularly memorable one in Game of Thrones. You know what it is for me? It all comes back to that character in Game of Thrones that... People know what I'm talking about, right? There's like the mom of that prince, and he's like 6, but he's still sweet Robin, the creepy kid, the fucking creepy kid. I think that's my answer. I think my answer is no for that reason specifically. Okay, I think we actually want to come back to this later and check and see if it is still running at max. You're yellow. Why are you yellow? You are lacking stators. Okay, this was going to be my question is, do we run out of stators? The answer is apparently yes. Oh, he's older than 6? How old is he? I think, like... First off, boobs, natural thing, right? Breasts, natural thing. Breast milk, also natural thing. No reason to feel any weirdness or like... Or even like... shame or anything weird about it. Should be able to breastfeed in public. Should be able to breastfeed in public without getting weird looks. Definitely should be able to breastfeed in public without getting lewd looks. Well, and I'm a huge milk lover, but I'm just not interested in even trying breast milk. Just not even interested in trying it. Didn't Alicia Silverstone breastfeed her kid for way longer than appropriate? I think that's called slander. I don't know who Alicia... I'm just kidding. I have no idea who Alicia Silverstone is, though. In that scene, he's like 12, maybe 8. That's a crazy mom problem more than anything else. Oh, yeah, and I don't blame the very creepy kid. Have you watched The Boys? I have not watched The Boys. Okay, but what if you're thirsty? Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm, like, dying of thirst and that's the only option. But I have a lot of other questions if that's the situation. I don't know. I mean, I would. I just wouldn't be happy about it, I guess. I don't know. So you are currently lacking steel pipe to make the stators that we need. Is that... Oh. Ryan doesn't know who people are, guys. The girl from Clueless. Chat, do you think I've seen Clueless? Yes or no? You can take a vote right now. Have I seen Clueless? Knowing what you know about me. You think I've seen Clueless? This or that, will you rather drink breast milk or urine? I would honestly... I'm not proud of this answer. I think I would honestly probably try my own urine before I would try someone else's breast milk. I don't think that's sensical, logical, normal. But that's just how I feel. I have not seen Clueless, by the way. Yeah, there's no way. I have not seen it. That's worse? I know, but I'm way more familiar with my own urine. I haven't tasted it, but it's like I've seen it every day of my life. Is it going to taste worse than breast milk? Absolutely. I'm not saying my opinion is a good one here. I'm saying for some reason, some back part of my brain applies an okayness to my own piss that does not apply to other people's breast milk. I don't know why that is. You're a real one for that answer. I'm just trying to be honest about if I'm delving into and being fully transparent about my feelings. That's kind of just how I feel. I have an idea for my factory real quick. Give me 2 seconds to talk about it. Here's my thought. I don't want to keep adding stuff on the side of our factory floors because I think it is probably going to eventually be a problem where we don't have a floor to add something to the bottom floor. Like we have to build something on floor 5, but we need it on floor 2, and then the belts run the wrong direction, and then we're out of space on the floors. I don't like that. I'm absolutely 100% considering building right over here a second version of our vertical bus. If this is like New York City, if this is the downtown of our factory, this is the building. This is our Empire State Building. This is our Sears Tower. But I think the skyline could also probably use a second building just used to make intermediate resources that then get plugged into the belt to support the main building. Our skyscraper's so high, we need a second skyscraper to support our first skyscraper. That's the thought I had in the shower. I could use it to build stators, steel pipes, etc. We bring the raw resources in here as much as we can. We shove them in there. That way we don't have to tear stuff down on our bus and to potentially fuck stuff up. We just add it into there from the base floor. We can train stuff in, then go. I don't know how much of this we're doing, but quote 1720. What a bad day to be scribed to Little Indigestion on Twitch. I was really looking for sympathy, support, no judgment. I was looking for help, frankly. It was frankly a call for help, and instead I have been absolutely lambasted by my own community. I'll remember this. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll remember this. I also just can't be the only one. Somebody out there is saying, Ryan, thanks for taking a bullet for me. Thanks for being the one who's brave enough to say what we were all thinking. Me and one other person somewhere. Sympathy and support for drinking piss. Why did I ever think this was a safe space? I should have fucking known. We got a bunch of killers in this community who are so willing to leap down my throat about anything I say, to construe it in the worst possible way. Why did I ever think, chat? You want to drink piss all the time? Wow. I had your back on the soft serve thing. I think if I'm being honest, everybody in chat goes, yikes. Ryan, enough honesty for the day. I'm trying to deconstruct my own feelings here. I'm trying to deconstruct my own feelings here. I think it's just the thought, like, I don't know how to phrase this. If you had to choose between soft serve and piss, I'm choosing soft serve every time, guys. Piss is at basically the very bottom of the list. Oh boy. Sometimes we have a problem on this stream where we get into conversations that are actually too interesting for what I'm trying to do on stream. Sometimes the conversation gets too interesting, and then I'm like, I can't possibly build a factory and sort through my complicated feelings about why I feel more comfortable drinking my own piss than somebody else's breast milk. You know what? Let's put a caveat on it. I'm sure Megan is not, like, loving this conversation, but she's also not here to hear it. So, and if I felt that it would actually bother her, I wouldn't say it. If somebody put a gun to my head and said, Ryan, here's a cup of Meg's breast milk. Here's a cup of your own piss. You have to drink one. Go. I'm not reaching for my piss. Did you notice the way I phrased that? I couldn't even phrase it as I'm reaching for Meg's breast milk. Why is that? Why is that? However, if somebody put a gun to my head and said, Ryan, here's your piss. Here's a stranger's breast milk. I'm drinking my piss. And that is my final thought on the matter. I think that's the key, right? I think that's the key. I think it's the strength, like, it's the familiarity versus the unknown. God, this is wild. I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. I didn't come to stream planning to talk about this shit. I feel like the cup is what makes it weird. What are you drinking? You choose breast milk. What are you drinking it from? I'm drinking it from a cup. What do you want me to say? A sippy cup? Straight from the nip? No, I'm drinking it from a cup like a normal-ass drink. The cup ain't what makes it weird. The cup's what makes it most normal. Think I'm slurping it from the boob? No. Chat says the darndest thing. A mason jar. A mason jar is the funniest thing I've read in the last 2 weeks. A mason jar is the funniest thing. Because the part about that makes it weird. The mason jar might actually be the worst answer, and here's why. It makes it feel granola health adjacent. Like it makes me like raw egg health potion type shit. Is what makes the mason jar the worst. What makes it the worst? Oh. I say this with all due respect. I can't even. Okay. We have to talk about a new conversation, guys. Because I have thoughts on Tony's question, but I'm not going to say them out loud because I fear we may have flown too close to the sun here. I fear we may have Icarused a little bit. I think Mason Jar is the closest we're going to get to a good leaping off place here. And so I think we got to fucking take that exit, okay? Highway's going this way. We could continue at 90 miles an hour, lead foot on the gas, just zooming. And I've got thoughts, and we could follow that highway. But instead, Mason Jar is a place for us to hop off, and I'm swinging the wheel. Incredible, Mars. Incredible. Oh, how dumb of an idea is this? A second bus? Probably a slightly dumb idea, right? I think the important part might actually be where we place it, though. Never have I ever been happier about a meeting. So, anyways, factories. So many people are going to wander into this. I mean, I don't know about so many, but at least a couple people are going to wander into this stream post that conversation. And we're going to have to act normal. I love my job. I love it so much. If we were to build a second factory just to support the first factory, a place to build things like stators, a place to build things like more steel pipe, a place to try alternate recipes without fucking up the first one and changing the like umbrella of like this machine feeds that machine, feeds that machine, feeds the factory, where would we put it? I think, and you'd want to be able to expand it at least a little bit. I think that way facing that way is probably the most natural. I think that's the place. How's this YouTube episode title gonna go? That's a great question. That's a great question, man. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I think we want to avoid, like in the case that this gets really tall, I think we want to avoid that. I think that just basically means right here. Watch him skip this episode? Oh, I would never. I would never. Gotta get that content out, man. All right, vertical bus 1. I'm thinking like right there. Except we would actually want to tear out the floor. Gotta get something out anyways. I have a discussion topic. Who else has watched K-pop Demon Hunters and keeps humming Golden all day? I think my entire D&D party has watched K-pop Golden Hunters. I have not, but I hear it's amazing. Oh, I fell. I fell. I have the wrong. Oh, please, please. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I had the wrong thing on. Quote 4? That was kind of a quote 4 situation, yeah. The wrong jetpack on? Ooh. Ryan's not afraid to share, even if he should be. It's good you were able to stay calm. I did my best. Did my best. Okay. So what we're going to do here... Does it feel like a step backwards to be starting a new factory? In the process of this other factory? Maybe? But my hope here is that we have... This actually saves us time and space by giving us a place to build some of the items we need to build. Like right now, we're going to need more steel pipe. We're going to need more stators. I would say stators. The list is probably like stators. Why won't it let me hit enter? Is there no space? Oh, it's already... Oh, okay, because it was scrolled up. Stators. Steel... probably then check on steel pipe. Because we're going to need more. Steel pipe / make more. Then we can check on circuit boards. Go from there. So currently, do we have stators for any alternate recipes? We just have the one recipe. It's steel pipe, and it is copper wire. I guess we could go check our alternate recipes just to check. Hi, Cassie. How's it going? Welcome in. Is it truly a new factory or just an appendage of the whole? An appendage of the whole. All right, let's quickly take a look at our alternative recipes. I don't know that we'll select any of them right now, but I am just going to... think about them for a second. Heavy flexible frame, automated speed wiring. We just built speed wiring, I think. Yeah, we did. This one takes circuit board. No, it takes high-speed connectors, which takes circuit board. That's interesting. Cycled rubber or steamed copper sheet. Instant plutonium cell. Takes non-fissile uranium, which can be made from waste. What is the normal plutonium cell? That actually might be huge. You have to make plutonium pellets, which requires... Wait a second, I think that's fucking huge. Comma, pretty much. Uh-oh. I think instant plutonium cell might basically... It is produced in a particle accelerator. Holy shit. Well, that's not as fun, but... It would require a lot of power. Where's the other thing made? But I think it would also... made in an assembler or a crafting bench. But the plutonium pellets themselves are made in a particle accelerator. So in case plutonium cell is a better... It's one step towards a better fuel rod. However, it would skip the step of having to make plutonium pellets. And all I would have to do is take my waste, combine it with silica. What is this exactly? Silica, nitric acid and sulfuric acid to make water. So there is a slight output there. We could just sink it. This seems amazing. Okay, I'm going to take that. And I'm going to write this down as a potential solution to our next power problem. We may end up messing with that. Chat, front seat question. Let's see if you guys can agree. Bye, Joyce. If you are a satisfactory knower, front seat question. Scale of 1 to 10. How great is this recipe? I'm selecting it now, so this won't affect my take. My decision. Front seat question is instant plutonium cell like an 8, 9, or a 10? I don't do nuclear, so no idea. Damn it. Heat fused frames. Hazy, 69. Damn it. 69, that's huge. Alternate all-clad casing. So 3 to 2 versus 20 to 15. I don't think I like that. We're going to rescan this one. 8 in my opinion, but with big variance. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that. Chat, front seat, or spoiler chat, if you want to grade me, feel free. I may end up making some decisions here. I think we're going to rescan on recycled rubber and steamed copper sheet. We got rubber concrete and we got aluminum rod. 1 aluminum ingot becomes 7 iron rods. Iron rods are used in rotors, modular frames. Those are basically the only things on the actual bus. Also screws, which are required for some items. To me, that one seems useful. Rubber concrete, I think we're okay because we have wet concrete. Water's free, rubber's not. And by free, I mean using rubber would take away from our actual bus if we used rubber. Whereas water, I can just make out of nowhere. Speed is 52.5 per minute, which is... This is better even than steel rods. And steel is actually... So steel rod is fine, but steel is kind of hard to make. Aluminum I can make in my enclosed system, which is like perfect. So, damn, I honestly feel like... the one problem is I think aluminum is only on the... I'm pretty sure aluminum is made on the bus. It's not made before... Yeah, because we have aluminum scrap right here. Cool. I grade you an F. Sorry, better luck next time. I figured you'd grade me an H for horse. We're going to take aluminum rod. 3 more decisions. I feel like I probably will end up... rescanning on this one, although I think basic iron ingot could be really useful. I just think with our current system, it's easier to just go get extra iron mines rather than and train it in rather than find places you can combine your iron and your limestone to make more. I'm gonna rescan. Packaged fuel I don't need. Molded beam. Is this just faster but fucking worse? 4 to 1? No, 24 to 9 is like 2.5 to 1. So it's better. Takes concrete. That is probably very useful. These intermediate products like steel beams and steel pipes are really the alternate recipes I think have ended up being good. We'll take molded beam here. No, today you don't even deserve horse. Horse is the best grade. Damn. Hi, Bobby. How's it going? Heat fused frames. This one seems complex. Making fused modular frames, though, is not even all that easy either. All clad casing. Add copper, make your aluminum go further. 20 to 15 is 4 to 3 rather than 3 to 2. Made it twice the rate, though. But you have to add copper. That's worth it. I'm going to rescan both of these. Silicon circuit board. Silica and copper sheet to make 12.5 per minute. We literally are having a problem where we are... What the fuck is this? Dissolved silica? We're taking this out of a pure curiosity standpoint. Because maybe it can be used for something. I didn't mean to eat that. Actually, I don't know if I should take it. It sounds like it can be used, the silica can be extracted from the water to complete the refinement process. That one seems dog shit, actually. So it's probably just a way to dissolve silica in water and then take the silica out of the water and make silica again. We'll take silicon circuit board. Then, automated speed wiring. This makes the stators go twice as far, but it makes you make a high-speed connector. That's as good. Oh, it's good. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good, Bobby. I'm doing good. Sorry, my brain is in the clouds right now trying to figure out what to do about these alternate recipes. Is Spoiler Chat going to grade me on this, or are they busy? I don't know if you guys are grading or no. No pressure. Heavy flexible frame. Bro, it's chill. I've only ever understood 0.4% of this game. That's great. I feel great, and I've understood 2% of the game. Oh boy, we're gonna rescan this one. I think that might have been really good. Oh, encased plutonium cell plus a pressure conversion cube makes a plutonium fuel rod. As opposed, all the other shit. Wait, but I think I liked the other shit better. Plastic smart plating. So smart plating. So instead of, so this is you add plastic to make it, make your iron go further. Add plastic to make your iron go further. Well, that's probably good. Let's take it. Why would we miss the chance to grade you? All right, Spoiler Chat, feel free to give me your grade when it's time to, whenever you come to a consensus. I feel good about the one that I got there. I didn't get anything that affects our problem over here. I understand precisely 0% of this game. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Looking while cooking. Don't worry, I'm judging. Okay. I think the first thing we should make is stators, because our current thing over here is just dog shit. Do we accept the stator, the resources from the belt? Or do we build them our own? I think we probably just build our own. I think the benefit here is... Or sorry, I think we use what exists. I think the benefit here is that we don't have to refit a new design into the same space. Let's just go ahead and tear this shit down. Let me check the output real quick. If I build stators, they go here, here. Some of them come back and pour into this machine, which is making motors, making automated wiring, which we have gone and put on the... We've put that on the bus, so I don't even know if this technically has any... Hi, Lumella. I need to get back into Satisfactory. I took a break before reaching this point. Now I'm deep into BT3 with the little restart-itis. Don't worry, Ryan, we're still judging. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. It'll be fun. Won't be the first time I've gotten a bad grade. Okay, let's just tear this shit out. Challenge mode of this game, you have to walk everywhere you go. Challenge impossible. You can play the game, but you can't jump around like a crazy person. Okay, now that I've done that mental math, what do you guys want to talk about? So I pray to God something more normal than we talked about earlier. Jury's reached a verdict, I think. Hit me. I can accept it. Spoiler chat is settled on a C. I would add see me after class. I've never gotten an A yet. I don't even think I've gotten a B. Maybe I got a low B. That's fine. I can accept that. I honestly thought when I was making the decisions, I was like, think less about like what you need, like what is the right call overall, and think more about just like what could you use right now. So I think part of it for me is I was like, I could use some of these things right now, or I couldn't ever use this. Like the plutonium thing, I was like, I think it would just kind of make sense for what I'm working on right now. If I recall, the B was when you smashed like 15 choices at once. You had some big wins and some huge misses. So I did get a B. A low B? Yeah, okay. Hell yeah. I have been so tempted over the last week, chat, to play this game in my free time and start a new build on my own. But I don't want to do that until I'm done with this build. I really, really, really don't want to restart this game just for the sake of getting to redo it on my own time, because I think it would take away from my energy to play it like on stream. Ryan, I appreciate your commitment to the bit with the hat and vest. I got you. OSHA needs me to be in this hat and vest. Also, the few times I've streamed without the vest, people are like really upset. When I streamed without a camera for a while, they were also pretty upset. They didn't get to see the hat or the vest. I was like, wow, thanks. I feel honored. Okay, so apparently we fed this in over here. So this is steel pipe. What call it 2, but we'll change all of this later. I'm just copper wire. Personally, I found that very peaceful if only the microphone was also off. Harley, can you imagine how fucking bored you would be if I didn't have the microphone on or the camera on? I'm not saying the camera adds anything, but the microphone, holy shit. Were people upset about the no cam? I don't think people were like upset generally, but I don't think general people were upset, but I remember a couple people were like, first off, a couple people were very happy. A couple people were like, I am certainly not here to see your face. I'm here to see the gameplay. And a couple people were like, oh man, I missed the FICSIT helmet or this part. Some people were like, I could see a lot more of the screen without you there and without fucking chat there. There's some games where I've enjoyed a no commentary, no camera playthrough kind of ASMR background thing. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. My thought, though, is if you watched the first, like, 30 seconds of this playthrough and didn't immediately turn it off, you probably want my microphone on for the rest of the playthrough. Okay, so we're here to make stators. Stators are currently made, and we're going to need to make this, like, in a big way. In a big way. Made in assemblers at 5 per minute. Now here's the question. Not that. Right now, how does our copper wire look? Ouch. I think I could probably just hook up to the copper wire from the game. Oh. Right here. I don't think it's getting used in a ton of places. If this goes badly, I could always make copper wire on my own. Hi, Artifice. How's it going? I did find it a little more boring without the cam to see your reactions, TBH. So we need assemblers. We're going to build as many as we can, basically. Oh. I really like that you try different stuff so I have variety without having to search hard. You mean for like for games and stuff, like on stream? Yeah, I like having a little bit of variety. Sometimes. I also sometimes get caught in a place where like a game quote unquote takes so long to finish that I'm just kind of caught playing a lack of variety because I'd have to, not I have to, but like, you know, this game I've been playing for so long that I'm like, a small part of me is definitely going to be relieved when we eventually beat it and I can get back, like one stream a week, I can get back to being like, I have a free slot to do other stuff with, you know? Of course, I'll also miss the game, but... And I could frankly, like, I could stop at any time if I was interested in stopping. Like, if I hated this, I could just stop. But I don't hate it. I like it. Okay, now that we got the power pulls up, I can actually just hover here. Oh boy. Real quick while I'm sitting here, let me think about anything interesting happening over the weekend or the last couple days that I can talk to you guys about. Big brain, smart time. Sometimes big brain, smart man. Sometimes it's all shenanigans today. You could stop at any time. Yeah, that's what they all say. Unfortunately, we all have to accept that we are actually here to see what cursed thing Ryan says next. Oh, wait, that's too much power. Wait, that's amazing. Can't wait for the moments we can show you people's craziest builds. Yeah, I am interested in that for sure. I think it's possible. So I haven't talked about this today, but okay. So first off, something interesting that's happening in our life. Elle has learned the word up, and that is a major problem for me. Two pretty terrible blows to my parenting in the last 4 or 5 days. Elle now knows the word up, and she knows to spam it when she wants to be picked up. Great for her, picking up new words. Terrible for me, my back, etc. Second off, she has discovered that just because her parents say no does not mean that she has lost her ability to continue doing whatever the hell it is that made her parents say no in the first place. Also a terrible development for me in my parenting life. Yesterday, she's feeding the dogs fucking taco meat directly from her plate, just chucking it on the floor so they can eat it. For the last 6 months, we say no. That has meant that stops. That's a great development. That's huge. Very necessary. Starting yesterday? Nope. Decided I'm not a fan of this. Not a fan of this development. Great day for the dogs. It's true. Her and Hero are in on it together. I'm not actually convinced Hero didn't teach her that. Like, I mean this in a literal way. I mean this literally. I think Hero may have modeled for her that when your parents say no, you don't have to stop. Because Hero's kind of like the king of that. And she's obsessed with Hero and watches everything he does. Anyways, any advice for not losing my goddamn mind as the parent to a toddler is greatly appreciated because we're quickly getting there, apparently. That's a fun development. I hate it when they figure out that you can't actually stop them from doing what they want. Yeah, it's not good. My D&D group is doing a short 2 to 3 shot that after the first session turned out to be a Groundhog Day situation. I'm playing Bugs Bunny. Oh, no. Emma's been so obsessed with her dog lately. She doesn't even consistently say mama or dada, but she now says puppy every single time she sees our dog. Love. Yeah, you are going to make... I should have selected you first so that I could then copy and paste the settings immediately, but I didn't. So do I just send the staters out the door and then into the bus, or what should I do with them? I guess is the next question, right? Let's get back on track. One of them anyways, you said first off before explaining about the up situation, what was the rest about? Oh my God, thank you for the reminder. Okay, here's an idea I had. Okay, this is what it was. So that's the fun story that I remembered is fun in a way that is like harmless. Elle now knows how to say up, which is fun. On the other hand, I don't know when it's going to be, but I was kind of thinking about the possibility of doing a Satisfactory marathon. here one day where I go live like much earlier than normal and start at like 8 or 9 a.m. and just play Satisfactory like literally as much of the day as I possibly can to see how far we could get in like one day, one big push. So that's something that I was thinking about. It's not going to be this weekend because related to that conversation, I don't know that we're going to do a... So I know that community games and book club are both scheduled for this weekend. I don't know that either of them are going to happen, unfortunately. I'm not sure because we have some family stuff that is like kind of popping up. Like, my grandma passed away this morning. Actually, she's okay. She's. Okay, that's the funniest thing I've ever said. So she's not okay because obviously she passed away this morning. What I mean by that is it's okay. She was 98. Like she was... This had been coming for a very long time. I can't believe I said she's okay. Hugs? No, guys. You can do hugs, but please just laugh with me for like 60 seconds. Please, for 60 seconds, let's laugh. For 60, and then we can do the hugs. I'm good. I don't need this. I'm sorry. I really appreciate them. That's very kind of you. But please, for 60 seconds, can we laugh at the fact that I said... Oh, boy, I said... I said she passed away this morning. She's okay. No, that's not what that means. I mean, it's okay. She's been... What I was trying to say is that, like, this has been coming for a very, very long time. She's been in hospice for forever. She's 90 freaking 8. Like, she's been in a nursing home for so long. Like, on Monday I went and I got to say goodbye, you know, all of that stuff. And frankly, like, you know, we had sort of said emotionally goodbye years ago. That's what I meant by all of that. Thank you for the hugs. Thank you for the very kind comments. I really appreciate it. I really delivered that news in the kind of funniest way possible on accident. But, long story short, I think it's very possible that the funeral arrangements and stuff happen this weekend. I don't know if they'll be that quick or not. But I don't know about the stream schedule for the rest of the week because that may be happening. So, anyways, that was the... I mean, that was the funniest slip up of all time. That's really unfortunate, but kind of hilarious. You're just very confident she made it to a happy afterlife. Yeah, exactly. She's okay. Okay. We're building stators. They are coming in real slow on this belt, which is kind of... There's like 4 problems at once with this build. Tony clipped it. Yes, thank you for clipping it. I had to. I hated it, but I had to. I don't hate that you clipped it. I'm really glad you clipped it. And I would watch it right now if I didn't think the clip would absolutely crash my computer, because apparently that's what happens with Satisfactory. But thank you for clipping it, and thank you guys for laughing with me when I said that on accident. Oh, boy. Long story short, one thing I would like to do with Satisfactory is I'd like to do a, like, 8-hour, just, like, huge build day and just really sink myself into this problem and go for it. And just have a very chill day where we hang out, where, like, the stream is on for, like, 8 hours. It's not going to happen this weekend. Or this week. But, yeah. The thing that is on my mind. What if we did straight to, like, there? Straight down? I feel like we should just add this to the... Marathon Factory stream does sound rad. Yeah, I think it would be good for solving some of our... Doing this overhaul in particular, I think would make a lot of sense. So we just built automated wiring. So I think this is all dumb. I don't think I need this right now. I think this right here. I think automated wiring is basically a thing on the bus now. Let's just go ahead and tear this down. So these stators we don't need either. We can just send those on the bus. Can you imagine living to 98 though? Oh man, my grandma had he was like and so 98 is crazy. He was also like wildly capable until she was like 93. She had a stroke at like 93 and she lost a lot of, you know, like her. That's kind of what I mean in that we've been like, her last 5 years has been very, very, very different than everything before that, because she was like at 93 years old, she was still like painting and like hosting people at her house and like hosting family holidays and stuff. I don't know if I want to. Exactly. I also don't know that I want to live to 98. Yeah. I mean, frankly, like, you know, not to get too much into something that may be a little bit of a hard conversation for some people, but like I went, like I said, I went and saw my grandma yesterday or 2 days ago. And in that, like in seeing her, at no point in the last 5 years has she had a life that she was like enjoying, you know? In a that she was, you know, able to enjoy. I think she may have enjoyed parts of it, but I don't think she was like particularly able to enjoy much of it. And it is just kind of crazy. It's kind of just crazy what advancements in like end of life care have allowed us to do in terms of keeping people alive, and also the like kind of hard situation that puts people in when the person... Sorry, this is all very fresh for me, so I hope, you know, apologies if this upsets anyone or if this is something that you're not interested in talking about. I know it can be hard for some people. Feel free to skip out on this conversation. But like, the better the end of life care gets in some ways, the like less that person who's being kept alive is like is often able to enjoy the life that they are being kept alive to live. Oh boy. Which is hard, which is really hard. My great-grandpa lived to 100. He was still driving locally in his 90s. Wow. 102 to 103 is my goal. I want to be able to brag about living in 3 centuries. That's a very specific and lovely goal. My grandma's 102, and I get what you mean. We all obviously all care about her and all, but for a decade now, everyone's had an attitude of any day now. Yeah. Quality of life versus living. Yeah, I mean, it is a question. It's, you know, and I don't like, you know, I think many people who are 98 are very, very happy to have the... It was right. Which one is it? Are very happy to have whatever slice of the pie they have. But I've also had a bunch of people in my life. 19. So it's one to the right of versatile framework. It's tough. I think a lot of time, I don't know. I think sometimes at the end of people's lives, they're also just like sort of, when they're that old, I think they're also sort of Just like hanging in there because what other options do they have? Oh, boy. I just had a lone dinner with my 87-year-old grandma yesterday. She looks so forlorn and lost. It breaks my heart every time, yet I enjoy her stories of the hard times in post-war Germany. Crazy stuff that she hardly talked about before a couple years back. Oh, Sekhmet, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. My great-uncle was 100 but was super healthy. My grandma, his sister, lived to 92. Yeah, my grandma, her husband died really young. So her husband died like... I mean, I think I don't even think he was 40. And then she lived like another 50 years, you know? And she buried her son, my stepdad, before, you know, many years before she died. Okay, we have built stators. We're going to go look at steel pipes because our stator question is not really solved until our steel pipe thing is solved. So we're going to go take a look at that. I can't believe, and I also totally do believe that this is the same stream with the earlier topics. I know, right? I just had that same thought. What the fuck are we doing? I'm sorry, and also I'm not sorry, right? Like, on the one hand, I just so can't help who I am. What were the earlier topics? We spent a good portion of earlier today's stream talking about breast milk. Talking about how soft your ice cream should be to enjoy it in a maximum way. And whether or not I would rather drink my pee or somebody else's breast milk. And the answer will surprise you. Clickbait title. So this steel that we're making here in a dog shit way... quote unquote 20 per minute at 6 machines. 120. That ain't 780, I'll tell you that much. It gets used for some items, but we also have a standing still belt of steel. So I think, let's check this real quick. Steel pipe. Thank you so much for the follow, Hanezi. Probably Hainsey. Hi, Hainsey. Thanks so much for the follow. I think probably what we're looking for here is molded steel pipe on our second skyscraper, built in a foundry at 50 per minute. Probably should put that on the floor below the stators because we do have steel and we do have concrete and it mostly don't move. However, if we do that, then this steel won't get used in the other factory. However, it does get used somewhere along here. I think it gets used, right? Where does the steel pipe get used? No? Is it not getting used here at all? Maybe not. Okay, if that's the case. Okay. By the way, since you mentioned book club, I just wanted to remind people that there's now a book club forum on Discord. I'd love to not be the only one who sent a message in there. I would send a message if I had read more of the book at this point. Thanks for posting in there, though, Catilla. My grandma died a couple years ago, but she buried her parents. Oh, my God. Carly, are you still here? We ought to have a conversation. I forgot. We were going to do the one thing about book club. Shit, I forgot. My grandma died a couple years ago. She buried her parents, 2 siblings, her husband, and 2 kids. Wow. It's not 24 hours before book club. I haven't read the book yet. I'm here. Yeah, same. Okay. I occasionally microwave my... Wait. Your ice cream for 45 to 60 seconds? I microwave it? We got to go back to ice cream here. So that I have a solid chunk of cold ice cream floating in the middle of hot molten ice cream? I just got the book on Kindle, so I got to lock in. I love that you said lock in that fashion. Time to lock in, by the way. Lock in is exactly right. That is what you should be doing. But I've also only really heard lock in from... This week, I have only heard it from the 12-year-olds I'm coaching cross country. It's a good phrase. Don't get me wrong. I love saying lock in. It's just very funny to me to hear it used in this fashion. Lock in. 12-year-olds right now are all about telling you to lock in, by the way. It's their favorite hobby. Their favorite thing to say is lock in. I hear lock in from Evo constantly. Don't tell Evo I said only the 12-year-old boys on my cross-country team say it. I left for work over an hour ago, and ice cream is still the topic. Don't worry. We took some very weird swings in different directions. Oh, boy. Don't you worry.